everybody, Marco Carbajo here from businesscreditblogger.com. Today's video, we're going to talk about bank data, business lines of credit. We're going to share with you 5 sources where you can apply. If you're a business owner that's generating revenues right now through your business checking account, 5,000 or more in revenue, then this is the video for you. We're going to share with you 5 different sources where bank data is the primary information that the lender or card issuer looks at for approval. So let's get started. So when we're talking about bank data, there's a lot of lenders and card issuers out there in the space right now for you to be aware of as a business owner that will look at your bank deposit, your bank activity as more the factor of how strong your business is, as opposed to looking at more traditional data like your financials, your tax returns, etc. So that's called non-traditional underwriting data, stuff that's traditional banks look at. Many lenders and card issuers look at alternative data like your bank account. Now, the major factor that's the 5 sources we're going to list here in this video, main thing they look at is your bank data. It's not the only thing they look at, but it's the main thing that's going to determine for you to get approved. So when we're talking about bank data, we're talking about the revenues flowing in and out of your business checking account. So they look at obviously the revenue, the amount of revenue coming in, the number of deposits going in. So when you have frequent deposits, that shows frequent activity. If you're only getting 1 deposit a month, that's a factor. So they look at how many deposits going in through your account, your average daily balance. And the good news though is with these 5 sources, the main thing is it's all done digitally. It's done online. So you don't have to submit bank statements. You don't have to deal with any paperwork. It's all done online. So it's fairly quick. So if you're a business owner that's looking for ways for you to get business lines of credit for your company, with many of them that help you build your business credit, we're going to share with you a couple that do report to the business credit bureaus, and some are what I call off the grid, where they don't report at all. Now, they also look at your non-sufficient funds history. If you bounce checks, if you overdraft, they're going to look at your bank account age. How long have you had your business checking account, as well as your history? So that's when we talk about bank data. That's what they look at. So as a business owner, it's important for you to be aware that the cash flow coming into your business checking account, what's your average daily balance. Those are important data points that can open up many different types of funding opportunities for you. So let's talk about the first one. It's called a company called Fundbox. This is a lender. The link to go to is bankbusinessline.com to apply. Now, before you go there, I'm going to share with you what are the requirements and what are the benefits and who do they report to, etc. So they offer lines of credit up to $100,000. Now, it's important for you to realize that the first place you should go for a line of credit would be obviously your bank, your financial institutions where you do business at. Now, many business owners that come to us is they've been turned down from the bank because they may deal with a national or a regional bank, and they got turned down because they wanted full docs, they wanted tax returns, and their tax returns didn't show a profitability enough to support a line of credit. So that's when you turn to many alternative lenders like Fundbox, where Fundbox won't look at your tax returns. They'll just look at your revenues coming in your checking account. So that's where you can get other types of lines of credit that may not give you the best terms compared to a traditional line, but this is your next best thing. So their review process is 100% online, and all you're going to do is create an account. You're going to connect your business bank account, and that's all done encrypted. It's security. They do disclose that. They do a soft pull on your personal credit during the pre-qualification process. So that's a soft pull, so that doesn't hurt your credit. And you only have to have very small credit scores, which I'm going to get into next. It's a fast approval, so you can literally know within 1 day if you're approved. And if you are, you literally can draw on your funds that day and have the money in your business checking account the next day. Now, it's important to realize, though, if you do get approved, let's say they approve you for a $20,000 line of credit, when you do draw on your line of credit for the first time, they do then conduct a hard pull. So, although getting approved, they only do soft pull, but when you actually take money out for the first time, they only do a hard pull 1 time when you do that. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. What's really exciting too, this is cash credit. So this is not like a credit card. This is literally every time you're drawing this line of credit, you're getting cash deposited into your business checking account. So the requirements are you have to be a US-based business, 6 months minimum in business, and you have to at least be doing $4,000 a month in activity. I did say at the beginning of the video $5,000 a month. They will look at you for $4,000 a month, but I like to, I recommend $5,000 a month or more. And you have to at least be doing that in bank activities for 6 months in your bank account. So if you're only 3 months in business and you have $5,000 a month coming in, wait till 6 months. You don't have enough age on your business checking account. Now the soft pull is they want to make sure you have at least a 600 minimum credit score, which is pretty low requirements. So that's not too difficult. Now, what's important is obviously this lender's been around for a long time. So with all that, the customers, they've now kind of stopped issuing lines of credit to the following industries: transportation and warehousing. So when you have your NAICS code, if you're in 48 and 49 code, you can't get this particular line of credit. Also, they're not approving other services. So if you have an NAICS code of 81, then they won't approve you as well. So just keep a note of that. Now, I did disclose to you when you do they will do a hard pull when you draw on your line of credit for the first time. What are some key points with this line of credit, which I really like, is the fact that there's no fees, there's no origination fees, there's no maintenance fees. If you don't draw on your line of credit, let's say within 90 days, they don't close your line of credit, or they don't charge you any inactivity fees. There are some lenders out there where they actually have a requirement, or they actually charge you a monthly fee. There's nothing that with this particular lender. What I also like too is they fully disclose when you log into your line of credit, and you decide how much you want to draw. They'll disclose to you right there what is going to be your payment, and you can repayment terms are up to 6 months. So every time you draw, you have 6 months to pay it back, and they disclose exactly how much you're going to pay in interest. So that's what's really cool there. And there's no prepayment penalty. So if you do draw, and let's say you took a 6-month term on that amount and you pay it off in 3 months, you're obviously going to save money, but there's no penalty to do that, which I really like as well. You're only paying for what you use. This is not a loan. This is an actual line of credit that you can use over and over and over again. And keep in mind, you may not need the funds right now. You may be doing good. You got revenues coming through your business, and that's the best time to set up these types of lines of credit, because you need to understand lenders, card issuers, it's always best to apply when you're coming from a position of strength, not when you actually need the money. So remember, with this, you might get approved and you got a soft pull, all right? And let's say you don't need the money, that's okay. Remember, they'll only do a hard pull when you actually pull the funds out, when you actually use your line of credit. So it's good for you to diversify and set up multiple accesses of lines of credit for your company, whether it's cards, traditional lines of credit, alternative lines of credit, etc. And then, of course, you have your suppliers and your vendors, etc., those types of credit. And that's why it's important to have that diversity. It just gives you more choices. Funds deposited in 24 hours. The balance can be paid back immediately over a 6-month term. Now, there's no restriction on how you can use the funds. Of course, it's for your business. And you could draw multiple times up to your credit limit. So you may have a $20,000 line, you pull $5,000, and let's say a week later you realize you need another $5,000, you could draw again. So that's what I love about this particular line of credit. It's really simple, it's streamlined, it's fast. So this is number one of the sources, and the main data to look at is your bank deposit revenue. Okay, let's talk about number two. This is a card issuer. This is a company called Corpay. So you can apply at smartbusinesscreditcard.com. And real quick, I wanted to go back real quick on this particular, when you're going with alternative lenders like Fundbox. Their application is really, really simple. I just want to really quickly bring up the actual web page for it. Where is it? Right here. This is where it's going to take you when you go to bankbusinessline.com. Really simple application. So that's simply put information, then you can sync up your bank account. So let's talk about Corpay. Smartbusinesscreditcard.com. You get up to 1.5% cash back. This is really simple as well. You can connect your bank account with this application process. Let me just bring up the screen for this particular card as well. Where is it? There it is. This is what you're going to see when you go to that link. And it's very, really simple. Just click apply now and fill it out. And you're going to get a credit check on experience. So this is the one source that we have that does do a hard pull on Experian, okay? But their credit score requirements are very, very small. But the main data they're using is your business bank account. They report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax Business, and Experian. So this will report to all three major business credit bureaus, help you build up your business credit. Now, the requirements is you have to be U.S.-based business for this particular card. You have to have your EIN number. Your bank account has to be at least 6 months old, just like Fundbox. And your minimum experience score is 620. And this is what's kind of neat. Because you know that they're pulling from Experian, you may have an Equifax score that's, let's say, lower than that. But your experience score, let's say, is 640 or 650. Then you know you're good to go because you know they're particularly pulling from Experian. Now, they do require a personal guarantee. But remember, when you do a PG, you're just, as a business owner, ensuring that if the business doesn't pay in default, that you pay. So there is recourse with this card. But it only reports to the Business Credit Bureau. So even though you're PGing, that doesn't mean it reports to personal credit. So that's one thing I want to make sure you're clear about, is PG doesn't mean it's reporting your personal credit. So you have to look at the terms and conditions of a card issuer or a lender that says we require PG, but do they report? Many of them do not, even if you do provide a PG. All right, so the key points on this particular card at Corpay, smartbusinesscreditcard.com. That's where you're going to go. You can make purchases using either a virtual or physical card. A lot of these fintech cards, they give you that capability where you can create virtual cards, which I think is very helpful. Especially if you're doing subscriptions online, you don't want to use your main account. You want to create a virtual card, a temporary card, you could do that. And you can do an unlimited number of virtual cards at no cost. There's no minimum bank balance required for approval, where some of the other card issuers out there, fintech, they require like 75,000 to be in your checking account to get approved. There was Brex, but now they're not taking small business owners anymore. But now there's companies like Ramp. That's another card where you have to have kind of a significant amount of funds in your bank account. Not with this particular card, which I really like. You can integrate with your accounting system. This is an expense management platform, so it makes it really seamless for you come tax time. So that's what this card is, really, really powerful. And keep in mind, you can apply for all these for your business. So imagine having multiple access to credit where your bank data was a main factor in determining your credit limit. And the first one was a soft pull, and you only do a hard pull when you pull funds. This one is a single hard pull, but it's only on Experian. It's not on TransUnion or Equifax, okay? So keep that in mind as well. So let's talk about number 3. This is Torpago. Some people say Torpago. I say Torpago. You're going to go to nopgbusinesscreditcard.com. Why do we say nopgbusinesscreditcard.com? Because there's no personal guarantee on this particular card. The previous one, Corpay, does require a PG. This doesn't. But what I want you to do is, because we have many business owners that come to us say, all I want are no PG credit cards or business credit cards. Listen, you're really limiting yourself, okay? Just don't default on your card and you're fine when it comes to providing a PG. Or even co-signing, providing a personal credit check. Because if you have great personal credit, why not leverage that to your advantage? Why not allow your business to leverage off your good credit and your co-signing for your business? Doesn't that make sense? You'll get a higher approval. You'll get better terms if you're willing to do that. Some people are not, and that's fine. That's why there's all these other options. Okay, but when you use this particular link, nopgbusinesscreditcard.com, they actually give you not 1% cash back rewards. This is 1.25%. So that's a benefit that we have set up with Torpago, is when you're using our link, you get an actual higher amount of cash back rewards. You're going to connect your bank account with them, no credit check, no personal guarantee. Okay, so when you hear about this, when a card issuer or a lender doesn't do a credit check, doesn't do a personal guarantee, what does that tell you? That means they're really looking at other data, such as your business bank account. They want to see revenues, and that's a big factor they're going to look at. Okay, and there's no annual fees or card fees with this card as well. All right, and this reports to Dun & Bradstreet. So this is going to help you further build your business credit, get a trade line with DNB. So let's talk about the requirements. Before you apply for this, you want to have your EIN number, which I'm sure all of you do. You're going to need a physical company address. So you don't want to use like a virtual office address. If it is a commercial address, that's fine. It just has to be a physical business address. And many people are like, well, I have a P.O. box. Well, then your physical address could be your home, and that's okay. Remember, that's becoming more widely acceptable, people running their companies from their home. Okay, so just realize that. Now, you want to have a business bank account that's at least 6 months old, and you want to have $5,000 or more in monthly deposits coming in. Okay, so they're going to look at that. So if you're only doing, let's say one month you did 2,000, another month you did 3, and then one month you did 5, you want to be consistent, 5,000 a month in monthly deposits. Remember, the main thing they're looking at is revenue with this. There's no credit check and no PG. All right. Now, let me just give you some tips on that are going to help you with approval with this particular card. If you do have some cash in the bank, that's good. And you have a D&B credit history. If you have a Dun & Bradstreet credit report already established, that's going to further help you potentially qualify for this card. They look at your cash that you have on hand, deposit activity, spending patterns, etc. They use Plaid to securely link your bank data. All right, so you can Google PLAID to see the security, because some of you may be apprehensive. Well, I don't know about connecting my business bank account. Is it safe? Just look up PLAID Plaid for that technology and how many lenders out there are using that to underwrite without all the paper trail, etc. All right. So some key points with Torpago is make purchases using either a virtual or a physical card, same as some of the other card issuers we talked about. There's no minimum bank balance required for approval. Same thing. You see a kind of a consistency with a lot of these fintech card issuers. They're having real-time integration. It's expense management platforms, and that's kind of becoming the standard with all these alternative credit cards coming out there in the marketplace that are really competing with more of the traditional business credit cards. Is they're having different underwriting criteria, which is great for us. They're coming with much more technology, expense management platforms, etc. So that's really great about technology. It's really giving us, you, the business owner, flexibility, allows you to really expand your access to credit and allow you to be more selective on how you're using your money, where you're spending it, what card you should use for this purchase or for that purchase, etc. And that's why it's good to have all these things. So don't be so caught up in saying, well, I already have I've got a Chase card, I've got a B of A card, an AMX card, I'm all set for my business. No, you want to have multiple points of access to credit. Why is that? Because anytime, a bank can reduce your credit line, if the market gets really tough or we get a big recession, banks constrict, and if they see card issuers not using their cards and they have a big exposure on a credit limit and you've rarely used it, they may reduce your credit limit, but that's where it's good to have multiple banking relationships, multiple credit lines, etc. Okay, so you want to protect your business credit that way, and your access to business credit. So let's talk about number 4. This is a company called Divvy. I'm sure you probably heard of them. SmartCorporateCard.com. And that's exactly what this is. SmartCorporateCard.com. Really, really simple. With this particular card, you are going to go to that website right there when you go to SmartCorporateCard.com. And all the websites are pretty simple. You just click apply and it's good to go. Connect your bank account. They're going to check your Dun & Bradstreet credit report. There's no personal guarantee with this particular card, and this reports to the Small Business Financial Exchange. What that is that's an actual data warehouse. So Small Business Financial Exchange is not a business credit reporting agency. It's a warehouse, but only certified vendors pull data from the Small Business Financial Exchange. The certified vendors are Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Commercial, Equifax Business. So those main business credit bureaus get their data from SBFE. So if you're trying to build up your business credit report, and if a lender or a card issuer reports to SBFE, that's great because you know that the main business credit bureaus pull their data from Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, if let's say you don't have a strong D&B report, they are looking at your revenues. That's a big thing because this is an expense card, a management card as well. SmartCorporateCard.com. If you don't, they have options, which I really, really love about Divvy's, because if you, let's say your Dun & Bradstreet report is not established, or you don't have any, or you don't have enough trade lines reporting, you can do a credit check. They will give you options. Do you want to do a credit check? Do you want to do a PG? You can do a cross-corporate guarantee or a cash deposit. So that's optional for you with this particular card if you don't qualify. So I really like that they do that. The other things to requirements that they're looking at to get you approved for this particular card is EIN, physical company address, business bank account at least 6 months old. So you're seeing a lot of this consistency with 6 months old in business, which is not very long at all. And $5,000 in monthly deposits. That's where you want to be. Okay. So now the one thing I love about Divvy is they actually have a prepaid business credit card. So let's say you're only doing $2,000 a month in revenue, or you're a brand new startup. We actually did a video on this, so watch that video on this particular, their prepaid business credit card. You can go to creditbuilderapply.com if you want to apply for their prepaid business credit card, and that's a way for you to get approved right away if you're a startup with no revenue. So that's creditbuilderapply.com. That's what I like, that they offer that option. It's huge. So let's talk about number 5 source where bank data is a main issue. Really quick key points on Divvy. Access to credit, you build your business credit. Of course, they have all these rewards, unlimited virtual cards. So that's they offer many. You'll see a simulator with these fintech cards, all these benefits. So number 5. Now this is for those of you who you want a full assessment. You want to see what's available to you, because we get that all the time. We have business owners that they have good revenues, they have great personal credit, or they have bad personal credit, or they want to build business credit. They're not sure where to start. They've been in business, or they're brand new. What's available? What can we do? Where should we start? So that's why if you you want to get access to credit and capital right away for your business, then we always recommend to do a funding review. This is free, doesn't cost you anything, and we offer done-for-you funding solutions. So the first step is to go to businessfundingreview.com. So what we do is we do a complete pre-qualification on your company. So you're basically filling out a pre-qualification form. It's all done online. It's really simple. Let me share with you. This is the actual form. Very, very simple. You're just telling us a little bit about yourself, the business. It's literally a one-pager. It's so simple. You're uploading a copy of your personal credit report. And then some of you say, well, I have bad personal credit. I only have a 500 credit score. That's okay. If you have a 600, that's fine, because it's going to allow us to determine what choices do you have. Should you go a prepaid route? Should you go a secured business credit card route? If you have revenues, you have, let's say a 600 credit score, you may be able to get a revenue-based line of credit or a revenue-based loan. So we want to give you those options and solutions. And let's say you have great personal credit and you're a startup, you may want to go with business credit card funding. We actually acquire the cards for your business to help you build business credit. So there's so much available out there. That's why I love doing reviews, because it just allows us to present to you what's available and what you may qualify now or what you may qualify for in the future if you do A, B, C, and D. So let's say, for example, you have too much credit card debt on your personal credit report and you're a startup and you want to get some credit cards. Well, if you need to do some pay downs, we'll tell you which cards you need to pay down. And then okay, if you do that, and let's say we provide you a projection. Let's say we can get you $50,000 in business credit cards, but you need to pay this card, and this card down to this utilization. Then come back to us when you do that, and we'll be ready to go. We'll need to do another review, but that just gives you a roadmap and say, okay, this is what I do. But let's say we require you to do those pay downs, but because you have some revenues, here's some options for you. We give you a couple of other options where you don't have to pay down anything. Okay, so that's the beauty of it, is doing a review. So you go to businessfundingreview.com, submit a copy of your personal credit report. Remember, that's a soft pull because you are acquiring your own personal credit report for this review. Okay, only for the review. If you decide to move forward with let's say a done-for-you funding where we actually acquire funding for you, then that's where the hard pull comes in. All right, depending on which cards, how many banks, or how many card issuers we acquire for you. Receive results and projections in 24 to 40 hours. It's a very streamlined process. We kind of give you a breakdown of 5 different avenues of where you can go if you have good revenues, whether you have good credit or no credit, etc. These are just options. I know there's many more out there, folks, but my goal for this video is to kind of give you more the easier qualifications, because there are lenders out there that require 10, 15, 20,000 a month of revenue, 50,000 a month of revenue before they even look at your file. Okay, and we have lenders that require 20,000 minimum monthly in revenue, and those for upper tiers of lines of credit. So, but if you want more information on other services we offer, check out our website, businesscreditbuilders.org. Please give us a thumbs up if you found this information really helpful, and of course, click subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. That way you're notified every time we come out with a new video. So with that, make it a great day. We'll talk to you real soon.